Hey everybody, welcome to this director's commentary, I guess if you want to call it that, of the last year's Halloween special, the Pictochat Prowler, and to co-commentate this is the co-star and co-director of this episode, Alex Scott.
Hello. How are things? Yeah, this is a good one.
This was a lot of work. I just remember all of these, like, it was the most live action I think I've done on all of YouTube, and just the most characters and the most, like, it was actually, there was a story.
It was long, it was exhausting, and it got gamey in there, and it was good. It was hot. It was hot under the lights, because we used a lot of the big, like, your studio lights, and we left them on for hours at a time.
And you see both of our costumes, like, you're wearing a full ass coat and I'm wearing the Joker outfit, so it's just like a lot. Also, the person in the ghost costume was
just
like
fell.
My sister. We got her. Just fell. Like, that was just, we kept that in. I thought it was funny, so I'm just like, yeah, I'm just gonna use the part where you fell. She's like, okay. But yeah, what even inspired this? Do you remember? Like, cause I came to you and I'm like, do you want to do like a Halloween episode of something? Like, cause I wanted I wanted a skit-based video. I don't remember how we got to the DS, though.
So we were in a basement somewhere, and then you said, and I was making a joke about, like, I gotta write your next video, it doesn't matter what it is. And you said, okay, write the next one. And then I said, and this was months before, and then I said, like, it could be the Halloween one. And you said, yeah. So I started writing that. And then we came up with, I think you tossed out the idea, the Pictochat Prowler, but I wanted something like that was like...
Oh, you know what? I think somewhere we were talking about... It was one of the jokes that it started with. It was... Because me and Alex, often, we like to just, like, improv, like, these two characters as, like, foils for each other. So my character is usually, like, just blatantly ignorant to how, like, much of an ass they're being. So, and then that came off to, like, I think one of the characters in the video, the character you were playing...
It's weird because sometimes
okay,
you play this...
Oh, isn't this?
Yes.
And I'm like, oh yeah, Alex. Or no, I think it was the homeless person joke with the chocolate. Like, here you go, Mac. You're like, whoa, thanks. And you just see I'm eating the chocolate in the car. I'm just like,
oh, Dion did so good. Okay, yeah.
Because. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Dion did so good here.
So good.
This is our friend Dion.
And he was in a whole cop get out, and he always looked like that kind of guy to wear those glasses and play the cop character. He just has that.
Yeah, so we just asked him, like, a week before. I'm like, are you cool doing this? Do you want to just make a short appearance? Like, we just need, like, a cop to come to the door. It was just, like, the whole DS plot is something I kind of just, like, expanded upon, because I'm like, I want it to be related to a game.
So yeah, originally it was just based on a few jokes, and it was like, you passed a homeless guy on the street. That's how it originally was during the day, and you gave him a bunch of coins, but they were chocolate coins, and then we changed it up. At some point, it became more structured, I think.
Yeah, I think the two characters were essential because I wanted you to play, like, one of the important characters in the video. And I think the dynamic of, like, I wanted there to be a villain that, because it was a Halloween video, so we wanted there to be, like, some sort of tension building the whole video. And sort of not technically a whodunit, but, like, there were, like, three people that came to the door. And,
yeah. It did end up.
Who could it possibly be?
Yeah, it ended up being, in a way, like a whodunit because it could have been any of the people, and we presented enough people where it's like it created suspects.
Right, so it could have been like the ghost at the start, because usually that's how they go. It could have been the police officer, like, disguising himself, or it could have been the cat, you know, but then it was like that other guy. So there's like three, and I'm like, okay, that's pretty funny. I think we wanted initially to have one more person come to the door and just be like, okay, like, I don't know who it was going to be. I don't remember.
A random stranger, maybe, or another kid.
I do know a lot of what we started for the live action stuff were a lot of the skits where I was at the door answering somebody, and all of these one-liners about DS games and closing the door. Like, my favorite joke in the video is probably like, what is it, in October? Like, oh no, here it is. I think this is the joke where it all started, right here. Where it's like, smell your feet.
he waves his hand.
So insensitive.
So dramatic. He waves his hand.
Yeah. Smell your feet. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's kind of how it started, with, like, just this guy who immediately hates Alax because.
And the thing is, I got in like makeup in order to look dirtier, and I was in like this shirt that's looks like that. That's the style. It's like hung off.
Yeah.
That guy
Well,
reeks.
that's actually my winter jacket, so I don't know what you're trying to say about me. Like,
No, that winter jacket actually did some magic. I don't know if you guys know, but that winter jacket, people would turn heads. They'd walk up. They'd say
yeah,
hi.
like I've gotten so many compliments on it, just like in the store or cashiers, just like, hey, that's a nice jacket. Where'd you get it? I'm like, the Value Village? What?
But it was such a good find, and everyone noticed it after that. People wouldn't shut up.
Yeah. And everyone noticed it in this video. It's just like a great your costume's just like, it's Hollywood level. I wish I did mine a little better. I wish I had the mask on the whole video. That would have been really funny if I like consistently did the Joker outfit. But, you know, and like if I did the wig, that would have been really funny.
I mean, you would have been
But it
hot
was
as hell.
hot.
You would have been hot as hell, yeah.
Another aspect to this video, so I never did this sort of get all the consoles and play them on screen and get all these games. But this, I had bought so many that stack of DS games. I bought so many extra ones just to have more to present in the video as well as to review, and this sort of turned into a whole DS retrospective, which is kind of cool because I didn't actually own any of the Brain Age games, any like Cooking Mom I didn't own. So now I just have those like great games on the DS, and then a bunch of like the crappy shovelware games on the DS, and it all for just like the whole trick or treat plot where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna give out DS cartridges. I don't remember where that came through. I think that was towards the end. I'm like, oh, how to tie it together.
If like pretty much I've left that all up to you because the few games I knew were like Cooking Mama and, you know, the basic one, Nintendogs, but like I didn't have any actual facts. I had that one dumb quote at the beginning.
Oh yes, at the beginning, yeah, because I didn't believe you. It was like
Because like how did I find that? That was a gold mine.
yeah, we were writing in Tim Hortons like to just get our minds like just like right together somewhere, and I'm like, that's not a real line, is it? And I looked it up, and it was legit a real line that Yamauchi said. I'm like, are you kidding me?
These shots are good. We were doing day for night.
Yeah, so this was daytime, but like I had to do a lot of editing to make the blinds look correct. I don't think it was like daytime. It was like evening.
It was evening, and we closed the blind, so it was a little darker. It looked fine. It ended up looking really good. This whole thing was really stylized, and that's what I like about this video in particular. Like, this feels like you've never acknowledged, one, that you're home alone. And so that's a funny, stupid thing. Like, why would you be scared of that? You've been home alone every day, you know, but now you can't even take out the trash. And then
Yeah. Just like all of a sudden paralyzed with fear about Pictochat. Like, I like this. This is very much like a whole, like, a tone shift of the whole video, because, like, on my channel, it's usually very consistent through the whole thing, but then, after this point, it never goes back to the conversation on the DS or whatever. It's just like, boom, like, plot happens.
Yeah, and then
I wanted
rack
the whole thing
focus,
to sort of
rack
just be like,
focus. I didn't even mean to do this. It was a sheer accident.
Yeah, the focus just going onto the screen, like, or my face, sorry.
And then he did
Hello, goodbye.
This line coming up, he did like 38 times, 40 times. We were all done with it. It was still funny by the end, but it was like...
I think my one gripe with this video is the cat fonts. Looking back, I wish I didn't do the outline on it, but that's just a me thing. Like, I don't really think I don't know if the audience cares. Oh, and special, our friend Paul coming in for Scoop Newsman. There was a lot of crossovers in this video, and I think that's what made it really fun. These videos are super exhausting to make, but a big fun part of them is the fact that, like, I can, you know, work with all of you guys.
It feels like a bigger world because there's so many people.
Right, exactly. Oh, this line took me forever because of the alliteration on all of the letters, and then we couldn't help but not laugh every time I said that.
And that was like, you added that. You just added that on the end. That was not in there.
Yeah. I remember we burst out into laughter after that, and we were just crying at that line. Piss.
You jump back in to explain, and they go and lock the door.
Oh yeah, that's right. I jumped back into the DS explain. I think that was just like a funny stylistic joke. But yeah, like what you were saying, usually I'm just like with the cat the whole video, and it's hard to kind of talk to you just basically nothing when you're delivering lines. I think really when you have like a human interaction there, it helps you get into character a lot more. So
it's a double-edged sword.
That's what's fun about this,
because like on one end, it's more effort. This video was definitely more effort, and it might have taken longer. But at the same time, like, you gotta have these rare videos, I guess. And that was cool.
Yeah,
I love this shot.
This shot, so Alex is coming down the stairs with the camera, and I'm like I'm like really sweaty at this point from doing this take a couple times, as well as just like it was like we were late into filming the Mario.
You come down and interrogate him.
Yeah, he's like this paranoid about everything at this point, so he's like, okay, I gotta interrogate Mario. I have to sneak down the stairs of my own house, and then talk to Cat again.
Yeah, somehow still.
Yeah.
Lock the door.
Yeah, and so this is a shot Alex edited, and it's just, I really fucking love the contrast here.
I didn't know how to get this depth, and like, I wanted this
so grimy. That's how you put it.
Yeah, parallax, and then this like office-like shot.
Yeah, this is such an office shot the way I'm running, and then it cuts right back to me locking the door. Oh man, it was a lot of this was exhausting. Like we obviously film in the same areas during the same points because like we jump between areas, but it was just a lot. By the end of the day, we did all the door shots, so I was exhausted.
And we'd lug equipment up and down stairs. So
yes,
it was like,
yes. That was a big part. And then we really only had a corner of the room to work with to do this scene. This was actually a hard scene because we were really cramped. Me and you were in the shots, so that means we couldn't hold the camera, so my sister helped out. Shoutouts to M.
Mm-hmm. And it was hard to be mobile even then and get the right cues on the shot.
What I will say, the camera, just like the angles on these shots,
so
pristine.
Good. It feels
so
like
good.
It feels like those scenes in Prisoner of Azkaban. Like you won't know the reference, but Alfonso Cuarón did a great like job with a certain scene, and this just feels so dramatic like that. And then I toss, bam, and like I was worried about hurting you. And
so that's so good. Like the way it's sold, I sell it, and you really actually make impact. It was so fun.
Like just because he's homeless doesn't mean he should be a psychopath. But for some reason, I'm both.
Yeah. No, I really like, because we were talking about this. So like my character is like, it has to still be like Alax. It still has to like look like it's my video.
You eat the chocolate.
Shit like this.
You eat the chocolate.
While you're like having a whole backstory. Yeah, I have to watch this. I can't get over that.
And you're just out.
You just give this shit out. Boom.
And then bam, that was a real punch. Real punch.
Out, man. That was a real, like, we had to do that take so many times just so the money would be caught as he's getting punched.
I was tossing the money up from my chest up so that it would look like he punched me and coins flew out.
Yeah, and the sound effect as well.
Ding.
Oh man, so it was a hard scene to do. Like if we could go back, I wish we could have had like a whole bigger place to do it and more like camera work and just like a lot more to that fight scene. But unfortunately, we were limited by time and resources. But I think by this point, like you got the message of the video and it was good to kind of wrap it up.
It was so good.
And then they like become friends, which is funny because you've appeared in a video before and then all of a sudden you're like this like maybe between like the last video you're just like something happened in your life and then you became like the homeless guy for like a week. Maybe you're just trying it out.
You hit me with a pan in another video.
Yeah. The Paul scenes are my fucking favorite, man.
They're so good. I only heard about them, and then I saw them in the final edit.
Yeah. There's like Paul is a news person, and we have like a group chat, and we use one of the shots as a reaction image just because, just like the face, it's like when he goes Moya Terador.
When we write these scenes, we both picture this chaos the same way, like blurry.
Yeah. Yeah. Like when we write this and we see it the exact same way, so when I edit it, he's like, yeah, that's essentially exactly what I would have done.
Yeah. Why's your hand shaking? Oh, this is good.
And then this, I literally wanted to do this just for like fans of the channel, because this was like, no one's coming to watch a DS retrospective and like tune in just for that. Like I really wanted this to be for like, you know, people who like these topics and like the goofy shit I do, because let's face it, my channel's basically like, it's very niche, but doing these every now and then is super fun. So like that, even though it was a lot of work, and like by the end of that day I'm like, holy crap, I am tired. Like I remember we went out after and I'm like, I really needed like coffee. Holy crap.
Yeah. We went out for food after, I think right after.
Oh yeah, you're right. I don't remember where we went, but like I was like,
oh, I do.
I think we started at like 5. No,
yeah,
we started like
right earlier,
or 4.
4-ish.
Yeah, and then we went all the way to like 10 o'clock.
And we went out to
Something
stores
like
to buy
that?
some props, I think, even before we
Yes,
shot.
that's right. So we went to the stores at like 12 and we bought all the props, we bought the
Yeah.
costumes. Like it was a whole
whole
event
day.
just to get this thing done. And it was fun. Like honestly, I'm glad it exists now. Like, and it's sort of just like it's sort of like a iconic part of the wherever I like go with content in the future. It's gonna be like okay, like at this point in both of our careers, that's
Yeah.
what we were doing.
Yeah, and like, oh my god, it just for me, like, obviously, like, I was really involved with it, so of course it's gonna stand out to me. Like, it was super fun to make, but then also like the stylistic choices you made on it, and the color, like the color tones on it, like the purples, it just felt really Halloweeny.
Yeah, I really wanted to experiment with that year especially. I was getting better at just like color grading my videos. Before I never even heard of it. I'm like, maybe I should try a little harder. And I like that one. I'm like, okay, I want to really just. It's going to be a Halloween video. It's going to be very extra. So like doing the color correcting, making all the shots dramatic. It was tough to get right, but once I made the presets, it was like, boom. I was like, oh, this like it changes the scene entirely. So funny. Yeah, any final thoughts? I mean, like, we don't have to stop the commentary just because the
Final
video's done,
thoughts.
babe.
Okay, well, yeah. Honestly, I'm trying to remember like the finer details of things, like some of the stuff that maybe not even filming, but just writing it. Like the way that I presented it originally was that it was sort of like a reality show, and there was a series of events in your life that it was showing. It's like, hi, I'm RelaxAlax and I game, and then it showed you gaming.
Yes.
And then you were like,
Yeah.
I walk out, or sometimes I feed the homeless. Like, I'm a charitable person. And then that
That's
joke
right.
came in.
Yeah. I remember you pitched it as just like you writing the video, but it was like a very you way of writing. So it's just, I'm RelaxAlax. And it was like showing me, it was like a philanthropist. And then it's just like
Yeah.
gamer.
Philanthropist.
Just like doing all these things.
Philanthropist.
And then all these like horrible shots of me doing shit. Like, oh god, I wish we could have done something like that, to be honest, but the way it came out was really funny. I think it was because like it was Halloween. I'm like, honestly, we both like doing Halloween shit, so I think it kind of worked out for the best.
Yeah, and then like some of the ideas that I had were revived in a different way by you. Like I said, there should be a part where you're like cooking mama. Like, but that was gonna be a whole scene in my head, and then you did that fire thing, and like it was just good.
Like I'm like I need to do this justice, and like just like I really love doing those like forgettable cutaway jokes that like you have to be watching to notice. I think that shit is hilarious, and just like because that scene it like goes, it's like I'm talking about it, and then there's smoke and fire, and the game's like being ruined. It's really fun to edit for me at least. Like
yeah, I remember pitching to you an idea where I was gonna go outside and I was gonna get a still shot on a street light, and then I was gonna have it flicker, and I was gonna use a mask or something. And like it was so
Yeah.
in my head, it was so like.
Well, a lot of the videos kind of like had that energy of just being super unnecessarily extra. Like a thing I added towards the end was the time. Like each part of the video was like, oh, like 6 p.m., 7 p.m. And then when I'm attacked, it's like there's no time.
Question mark.
Yeah. That was like something later, but I really wanted to have like some sort of progressive, sort of tense feeling video, and like all of the unnecessary details, like in the moment, like you spend so long and you like reshoot after reshoot, but then like, when it all comes together, it's like this was like so. It's just really funny, and I think the part that makes it funny is like I look back and I just see like what you did and just like choices you made. I'm like, it was just really fun to do, like with all our friends and everything.
Yeah, and then like same day delivery. It was like Amazon, because we were like, "Hey, Dion, come over and play a cop," and then he's just at the door, and then he's in a cop outfit, and I was like, it felt like everything just fell together in the same day,
Yeah.
other than the Paul stuff, because I know that was shot on a separate day.
Yeah, that was well. Luckily, with green screen shots, you can really get away with stuff like that. And that was just like, I'm like, yeah, are you cool with being a news anchor? And he's like, oh yeah. So, and then he came in. I really just like the names News Scoop or Scoop Newsman.
I think that whole, for whatever reason, that whole season last year had such an aesthetic, and it was like even Thanksgiving hit October 12th, and it was like a blood moon. Like it felt so odd, and then we met this odd guy at a Tim Hortons while we were writing this. Like everything.
Yeah,
everything.
That's a whole other story. That like there was just some like really, he was like telling us these theories, just like he was like telling us like 1,000,001 facts about his like wild life, but it just wasn't believable. Like I thought he was gonna knock me out at some point just by something he said. He's just like, what was it?
It was like
you see this part of the face. why I boom, and it's like he whacks me in the face. It was a really tense Breaking Bad character, but we were like at like this most mundane Tim Hortons.
If you met him, you would know he's the villain. He was like the sociopathic, and he would share like these extravagant details that probably never happened and were inconsistent.
Yeah.
And like everyone was scared of him.
Yeah, but and it's just a whole next thing. That guy was that we left after that. I'm like, I can't write anymore after that.
I've never seen him drive I've never seen Alex drive so fast. He hit the pedal to the metal, and then we just got the hell out of there. So scared of this random stranger.
That'll wrap it up for this director commentary. Thanks for coming on, Alex.
Of course.
I know everybody likes to hear from you, so
it's good. It's good to get on here and rewatch some of the hits. Hopefully, there's more to come.
The hits. Yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and I will see you on the flip side.
Bye.